thank you for watching. My name is Aris Eminwa. Well, the topic of the video today is the do's and don'ts of interviews. Now, it's not that hard to stand out at an interview. You just have to do what maybe 95% of your competitors, and by that I mean fellow interviewees, are not doing. So I'm going to give you about 8 tips that will stand you in good stead and give you the edge on your competitor. So number 1 is mind your manners. Now, I'm old school and I believe that if you are seated when someone walks into the room, you should stand up to shake their hand. So make sure you do that when you're at your next interview. Don't be doing it sitting down, because when you stand up, you're showing that you're eager and you're keen to meet them, and before you open up your mouth, you're letting them know you're a welcoming person. So number 1, mind your manners. Number 2 is switch off your phone, because knowing your luck, when you're in the flow, if given a really good answer, we're going to hear and it's going to throw you off your game. I would advise you to switch off your phone literally when you arrive at the location, so you're not on it in reception when you're waiting to be taken up to the interview room. Instead, use your time in reception to take in your surroundings, because this could be potentially your new place of work. And a lot of companies, if they've won awards, they have those awards on a display cabinet. Go and have a look at them, because they can be a talking point as you with the receptionist or your interviewer themselves as you're making your way to the interview to be interviewed. So remember, switch off your phone and use your time wisely in reception, because you want to be able to build rapport from as early on as possible. Number 3, be prepared. Now, this is obvious, but I'm saying it because so few people are actually prepared for their interview. So use your time the night before, or even on your journey, on your way to the interview, to go over your interview notes, to go over the job description. Make sure when you're in the interview that you're present. And by that, I mean you've got good answers to the questions. Make sure you have questions yourself, and if you struggle with thinking of questions to come up with, then have a look at my video. Do you have any questions? Because it's really important that you do have questions, because the quality of your questions is a reflection of the amount of research you've done and the enthusiasm you have for the job. Make sure you know the names of the people that you're going to meet, and I talk loads in my video, what do you know about us, and give you tips on how to research companies and individuals. So be prepared, because there's no excuse for not being so. That's number 3. Number 4, never badmouth your last employer. An interview is not the time to do that, no matter how much they did you wrong. You come across as being unprofessional, disloyal, and as a hiring manager, I'm going to be sitting there thinking, well, if it doesn't go well with us, are you going to be bad-mouthing me too? So never badmouth your last employer. Number 5 is don't ask the question, how many holidays do I get? Now, you know, when you're doing an interview, you're looking for people with enthusiasm, who are who've got the skills, have got the right attitude, who want to join the company. And when you ask the question about holidays, it's almost like you're trying to get time off of a job that you've not even been offered yet, if that makes sense. So if you genuinely don't know about the holiday entitlement, I always advise people to find all that stuff out before you even put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard and apply for a job. But if you genuinely don't know, then Google statutory holiday entitlement for UK employees, because then you'll find out what you're legally entitled to as a basis. And then when you're offered the job, you can start to do some negotiations then, because you know that they want you and you want them, and you'll be in a stronger negotiating position. But never ask that question during an interview. And number 6, this is really for those of you who want to work in the creative sector. So most of you know my background is in film and TV, so I totally know how hard it can be to get into that sector. So when you see a job at a production company that is for a general assistant role, and you know that, oh, actually I really want to work in script development, but the two are at polar opposites, then the temptation is to ask during an interview is, can I get experience in other departments? Because you want to know how quickly can I get into script development. Well, the interview is not the time to ask that, because recruitment is an expensive business, and a company has specifically advertised a role that they need filled in order for that business to run fluidly. And if they get a hint that you're not in it for the long game, as in 2 to 3 months you're going to get restless and try to muscle into script development, you won't get the offer. So instead, try rephrasing your question to, can you tell me about the career progression opportunities within the organization? And from then you'll be able to find out whether or not, you're going to get the opportunity to cross over into different departments. But I'd also say, if you know that you definitely want to do something, then I'm always a big believer in kind of developing your skill set in the area of your passion and your vision. But that's a whole other video for a whole other day. But it's not a question to ask during an interview. Now, number 7 is mind your P's and Q's. Now, I might be showing my age by saying that, but it just means that at the end of the interview, remember to say thank you. Just as you stood up to shake the hands of your interviewer when you arrive, do the same when you leave. And, look them in the eye, smile, let them know it was a pleasure meeting them and you're really enthusiastic about potentially joining the company. And if they didn't ask you the question, why should we hire you? Now's your time to answer it. Now's your time to offer up an answer. So tell them, I'm really excited at the potential of joining the business. I hope that the skills that I talked about, for example, A, B, C, D, and E, will meet your requirements, and so on and so forth. But mind your P's and Q's. And number 8 is a follow-up. This one is the icing on the cake, is you send an email just again to the hiring manager, thanking them for the time and giving them the opportunity to come back to you with any questions they may have. And when you do that, it really, for us as hiring managers, it shows that you cared, that you actually are genuinely interested in the organization and joining our business. And if you found the job, or you were referred, for interview via an agency such as Diva, then send it to us, because we always forward it on. So from the top, mind your manners, switch off your phone, be prepared, don't badmouth your last employer. Number 5, never ask about holiday entitlement. Number 6, try to rephrase your question around moving into different departments. Number 7, mind your P's and Q's. And number 8, follow up. Well, I hope you find that useful. Give the video the thumbs up and feel free to share. And if there's anything you want me to cover in particular, just write that in the comments box. And check out the link below for vacancies at Diva. Have a great week, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.